Hey guys, in this assignment 11.2, we need to create two raster layers, one for males and one for female heart attack, fatalities outside the hospitals. So we need to do this inside a model builder. So let's get started. So first we need to add the data that we need, which is actually all county blocks, and then the other one is from the Allegheny County GDB, where we got municipalities. So the first step is to actually, let's save this map. Let's save this as my assignments chapter 11, save it as chapter 11.2. I'm going to save it like that, and then I'm going to go to my catalog, go to my folder connections, SRI Press, GIS Tutorial-1, my assignments, chapter 11, create a new file geodatabase, call it chapter 11.2 dash, and then I'm going to create a new toolbox, call it spatial analysis. Okay, that's fine. Let's leave it as a toolbox, and then create a new model. Okay, create a new model for it. I'm going to have to rename that model as chapter 11.2 yash. Okay, now you can start working on your model. So the next step is to actually select by attributes. We need to identify Mount Lebanon. So I'm just going to do it using my attribute query table. I'm going to scroll down to Mount Lebanon, click on OK, and then I'm going to export that into a new geodatabase, call it once that's done, we need to extract by location county blocks which intersect with Mount Lebanon. So I'm going to click on OK, and then take my counties and data. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Just export this data into Mount Lebanon blocks. Once that's done, we can turn this counties off and then zoom to the layer, and then we need to set our environments for raster analysis. The cell size I'm gonna go with 50, even though the book says 100, and the mask I'm gonna use Mount Lebanon. I'm gonna click OK, and then I'm going to save my analysis. So now we need to create two fields to the table of the blocks. One is marked ink. I'm gonna make it double, and then flow, and then I'm going to add a field called marked. Actually, it's marked ink incidence, and then I'm going to do the same. And now we are going to use the formulas as specified by the book, as required by the book. For the mart, it's 0.0015 star. The male 35 to 74, mortality rate, incidence, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the female. Change the number to 23 and click on OK. So once we have those fields. Those are the fields based on which we will actually create the rasters. So the next step is to actually go to our catalog, open our model, and start dragging these Mount Lebanon onto the map, onto the model diagram. And then I'm going to search for kernel density. So kernel density. I'm going to add kernel density a couple of times to the model. Then I'm going to drag and drop my Mount Lebanon blocks as input points, and then I'm going to double click, and the population field for the male mortality is going to be the M-mart, and the second one's going to be actually we can save this under our findings, the 11 to GDB, and call it M-mart Inc. I'm just gonna go with the basic name, and then the search radius according to the book it's gonna have to be 1500, right? 1500 square feet, square map units, which is in feet, which is fine. So I'm gonna click on apply and click on OK, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the kernel density 2, except here I'm going to choose my population field as female. I'm going to export it into the same GA database and set the map units, and then I'm going to auto layout my model, and then I'm going to right click and click on add to display, and then click on run. So do the same thing for kernel density, the second kernel density, which is for the females. So once that's done, we'll see how the map looks, and model, save the model, close it, and then your Mount Lebanon's got to be transparent, so I'm gonna do that. So it looks like we got our rasters, but the thing is we need to we need to import the female mortality in female raster symbology for the males. So just gonna make sure that this looks okay. I'm gonna use standard deviation of 1/4. I'm gonna use the same thing. Actually, we can use something less, maybe 1/3, maybe, so that we get a little more color differentiation. If you want, you can just use 1/2. Okay, I'm gonna use that for my male mortalities. So I'm not gonna go with that. I'm gonna import female mortality rates, and I'm gonna turn those things off. As you can see, female is a lot more denser, and it's got, it's a little more intense, if you would like to say that. So those are the two maps that we need, and we did it using essentially a model builder. So the next step is to actually create a layout, maybe add the usual map elements, and maybe a north arrow, a legend, and so on and so forth, and create two maps and export them as PDFs or JPEGs, whichever one you like, and put it in a document and send it off to the policy analyst who will work on the redevelopment work. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thank you.